This is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
As a people with one song, with one voice, we're a nation undivided.
Good morning to you this morning. This is Business and Life series on Aloore Radio, transmitting from the GSM studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Secretariat Agodi, Ibadan. So you can join us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Aloore Radio, and also on YouTube at Aloore Radio. And then you can also check us out on our website www.alooreradio.com. And also our mobile numbers, just in case you want to call in, is 9090 3985 3731. I'll take that again, 090 3985 3731. My name is Linda Ochai, and today we'll be taking you on a very, very important topic on business and life, which is little beginnings. So when you hear little beginnings, what comes to your mind? I would say basically starting small. Now, the issue is that a lot of people don't like to start small because you just want to grow big. Everyone wants to be big. So when you think about little beginnings, you're like, oh, why do I really have to start small? Can't I just start big and start making all the money? Now, starting big doesn't necessarily mean that you start making a lot of money immediately. So, and I believe that starting small is very important. I am a fashion designer, and I also own a food producing company. We produce plantain chips, potato chips. We produce pap, yellow corn pap, and so many other things we're also planning to produce in the future. And honestly, when I started my business, I started really, really, really small, like really small. And the truth is, I actually never expected that my business will grow so big as it has in the past 2 years. You know, I thought, okay, it would even take longer. So that means that even if you start small, the truth is, if you take the right steps, you would actually grow big in a short period of time, faster than you can even imagine. So don't think that, okay, since you're not starting big and you're starting small, means that you're not going to grow big. You can grow big quickly. It might take a little while depending on what steps you're taking. Okay, I used to bake while that was back in 2012. I learned how to bake, and I relocated from Lagos to Ibadan. And I felt, okay, I needed to. The truth is, what I really wanted to do, my dream was to go into real estate, own properties, lease out, sell, rent out. That was my plan. And I knew that I didn't have the money to actually start buying properties, buying land or building. And I actually spoke to myself, and I knew that I just had to start something. What can I start now that I can start earning, saving, and then start buying? Even if I don't buy properties in, the choice areas, like those expensive, parts of town, I can start from, the normal local area where I can get a land for 500,000, a million, and then I start building something. It could be 2 rooms. It could be that kind of structure, popularly as face me, I face you. And rent it out and make it in a more modern way, make sure it has its own restroom and kitchen inside the room, and then rent it out. That's what I thought, And then I decided, okay, I don't have a job presently and I didn't want to work. I wanted to go into business. And I felt, why don't I start something small and, start making money? And then I started baking. And trust me, it was going really well. I was in UI and I was baking, I was making cupcakes, I was making pizza, I was selling per slice. I wasn't selling the whole box of pizza because I realized that the market, the people, the customers I had then couldn't afford to buy a whole box of pizza. You know, they would want to use the money for some other thing. So I decided, okay, why don't you sell per slice? It sounded funny, but I made a whole lot of money doing that. And sometimes you make plans and you don't know what will happen next. I didn't see the strike coming, honestly, and when it came, it hit me really hard, and I had to shut down that business because there was no one in school, and I didn't expand in the sense that getting customers outside that school environment. Now that we're also going to talk about boldness, because in everything you do, regardless of the fact that you're starting small, you want to be bold in everything you're doing and not get scared at every little things. And along the line, I'll tell you the mistakes I made and why some of the businesses I started initially didn't work out, didn't grow as it would have. Now, after I left the place, I moved into town and I still continued my baking in a little way. And this was now in 2020. In 2020, I had already started my fashion business. I learned how to sew on YouTube. I didn't go to fashion school. I didn't go anywhere to learn because I couldn't afford to go to fashion school then because they were charging about 200 and above. And then I just decided, okay, there are free videos online, right? And we all have access to these things. We have data, and I decided to download some few videos for beginners and I started learning. And I decided that since I didn't have enough funds to buy fabrics, proper fabrics to start practicing, why don't I buy lining? This lining fabric they sell for 100 naira. That would be affordable and to be easier for me to use that, to practice, which I did. And presently, I own a fashion house. And a lot of people don't understand. When they see me and the kind of things I produce, they think that I probably went to a fashion school abroad, which is not true. But because I'm very particular about everything I do, I want to make sure it comes out well. I want to put in the work and make sure it comes out as professional as possible, so that when I give you my price, because of the kind of money I want to make, you would believe that, okay, yes, you could see reasons why this actually costs this price. And so I actually did put in my best. And I didn't even learn everything. I didn't learn how to make everything. I just learned how to make some particular kind of, styles. Like, for example, I don't make trousers because I didn't actually put in the work to learn that. And because I felt at this stage now that I can employ a professional tailor to do that for me. You understand? So I started with that and it was going really well. At a point, I was getting more orders than I could handle. And I needed to employ people, someone to work for me. Now, this was now in 2020 and COVID hit. People were not buying new dresses. Maybe a few, And I felt, okay, I wasn't making as much money. And mind you, I didn't own a store outside. I was working from home. So I was thinking to myself, what can I do now? Now, this is COVID period. I have to, re-strategize. Think of something that is needed outside. The issue is that a lot of people don't realize that we have lots of problems out there to solve, to meet needs that would actually in turn make us a lot of money. And you see those small tiny things that we call kobo business, that is where the money is. That business that looks like it's a less classy business, it's low class. You're not wearing your nice shoes and corporate shirts, you're not going to this fancy office and you feel like that one is just beneath you can't do it. That is where the money is. A lot of people don't understand this. You have people that want to work in the bank, but there are some of those businesses that you do and you earn more than the bank manager, and I will get to that. So I decided, okay, I went online and I saw that a lot of people were, doing videos online, how to bake, how to sew, they were just getting their content together, putting it out there and selling it. And I felt, okay, I could do this. I know how to bake, I know how to sew, I know how to make so many things that I've learned on YouTube for free, and I can actually turn this into, money making thing. But I almost got discouraged because I noticed that a lot of people online that were doing this, they had beautiful, good quality camera. So the videos were so clear. They were professional. They had proper lighting. And I didn't have these things, honestly, because I wasn't into content creation. So at first I was worried, and I said, okay, fine. I will do a trial. I will put it out there, maybe 1 or 2 videos, and see. So I got my phone. I didn't have a tripod. I just placed my phone somewhere in the kitchen, created a particular area on the table, and I decided I bought some few things, flour, everything I needed. And I made pizza. I did a video on that. I made cakes. I did a video on that. I made bread, plain bread, sardine bread, so many other things, cookies. And when I was done, I actually got this free app, InShot and Canva, to edit my videos. And when I was done, I designed a flyer on this app called Canva, which is free. You can pay for it if you want more of the features, but you have a free part of it that you can use for your little editing for your videos. And I used that. I designed a flyer, and I just did 1,000 naira no, this was 500 naira advert on Instagram. And the response I got blew me away because I didn't expect it. I had people from Kenya, people from Ghana, people from other African countries reaching out to me to enroll for my class. So I had to, open this whole Telegram page and, put like a group chat there where they would have access to the videos and upload it there. And people paid for this content. As a matter of fact, since I wasn't expecting people from outside Nigeria to actually enroll for these classes, I didn't have like a payment option, because they were paying in foreign currencies, and I was confused, honestly. So at that point in time, I started calling people I knew outside. Okay, please, can they pay into your account, and then later you can send it to me in dollars and all of that. And it was going better than I thought. And the good thing about it is that I still have access to this content. I still have it. I can sell it whenever I please. I can make new ones. See, the kind of opportunities that we have these days, it's endless, especially with your mobile phone, regardless of the quality. You can go online. There are free content. People are making money online. Not just the IT people, though. Like even with your handwork, you can make a lot of money. You would definitely get a market to sell those things to. So I was doing this and it was going well. And that was when in September, this was now by September, I decided, okay, what else can I push into the market? And I just got this inspiration and this message to start producing plantain chips, which I did. Now, because I had never done it before, I actually went on YouTube to get a free video on how to do this, which I decided, okay, fine, let me practice, So I bought plantain. I used 1,000 naira. I bought plantain 500, which was still big as at that time, not now. Now we know that things are expensive and things have probably not even doubled, tripled in price. So I got 500 naira plantain. I got a glass nylon. There's a nylon called glass nylon. It has 100 pieces in a pack, and it was sold for 150. I got that. I actually had oil already, little oil in a pot. And I decided to, fry. I fried the chips and I actually packaged. After packaging, I got about 4 dozens. And then I got about 5 dozens. Then I gave some to, my husband, my friends. Okay, please just taste this. If you see this in a store and you taste this, would you buy this? Just to get feedback, because that is very important. You want to know. You cannot just say you will do that thing the way you like, because you're doing it to sell it to people outside. So your customers must like it. So I actually pushed it out and they said, oh, it was tasty, it was nice, it was unique. So I decided, okay, let me sell. So first challenge, I had this family friend that I told about, this product, and she came around, and when I gave them to her, she wasn't pleased. She was looking at it in a strange way. And I was like, you buy plantain chips on your normal day. This one was packed really, nicely. It was looking neat. I would say the way she acted when I gave it to her, reaction kind of made me lose confidence in what, in the product itself, which is actually what happens to a lot of people. So I felt bad. She took just one pack. She paid me. She had told me she wanted to buy more than one. But then when she came, she said she would just take one, that she doesn't know if she would like it, and so I already felt bad, and I was going somewhere with the other packed chips. So when I got to where I was going to, it was a place where we go to work out, I was now ashamed to bring it out and to market it because I didn't get a very good response with my first customer. So I already let that discourage me, which we actually shouldn't allow. Because the truth is, when we start doing something, when you have a product you're pushing out or a particular services, the people closest to you, your family members, your friends, will be the people that would actually disappoint you. They won't even see any value in what you're doing. They might react in a certain way, not in all cases. I mean, some of us have family friends or family members that were very, very supportive, you understand. But in this case, it really hit me hard because I felt, okay, this person will actually, encourage me. So when I took it to the place I was going to, I didn't bring it out. We were done with the classes, we were about leaving, and someone just said to me, what's that in your bag? And I said, oh, it's nothing, it's just plantain chips. Like, let me see. She's like, you like doing business, so I like this about you. Okay, you know what, how much is it? I said 1,000 naira. And the total amount for everything was 4,000. She said she was going to take everything. And that was how I made my, major sale. And that actually now boosted my morale to still push out this product into the market, which I did. Took some samples to a supermarket, and next thing dropped a sample. They called me back. That was really nice, and they ordered for 10 dozens, which I didn't expect. I was thinking in my mind that they would probably order like 2 dozens, but they did not. And in two to 4 days, it was sold out, and they called me to supply another batch, and that was how it grew continuously. Now I'll tell you about challenges that you can meet in selling in supermarkets, supplying supermarkets. If you don't have your NAFDAC number one, you wouldn't have people in supermarkets wanting to collect your product, because they know that NAFDAC would actually come for them, to check the product in the supermarket. So that would be one major problem. So my advice is, number one, when you start a business like this, once it starts going and you start making sales to your friends or families or people around you, there are a lot of places you can make sales: in church, schools. You can go to secondary schools. You can talk to the person in charge, the principal, and try to tell the principal that, okay, please, can I come and sell during break time? Because do not let the fact that you can't supply supermarkets if you don't have the necessary requirements discourage you either. There are a lot of places, like a number of places you can make sales. You can go to private offices, because at a point I started going to banks to sell to customers, because these people want things that they can munch on while they are working. They need these things. They don't want to eat. It's not allowed to start eating, proper food in the banking hall, but they can hide it somewhere and munch on that while they are doing their job. So these things are little businesses that you can start. Potato chips, plantain chips, chin, things like this that would actually move. Things that you can produce it. This has a longer shelf life, so you can produce it when you're free, package it properly, and then you can sell it for the rest of the week. Even if you are a 9-to-5 person, if you have a regular office job, you can do these things. You can sell to your co-workers. Do not look down on these small businesses or starting small, because at a point you will get to a stage whereby you would want to expand. It will grow so fast that you might have to leave your 9-to-5 and focus on this, or continue your 9-to-5 and then employ people that can help you manage or run your business in terms of production, in terms of marketing. And then they will be probably on commission or wages, or then salary. You will decide depending on what you're learning. So we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the financial challenges, staffing challenges, running costs of starting a small business, and how you can handle it. We'll be right back.
It ain't like you hearing it and it's like moving you. Music is, and the music you making is life, and it's like new life. It's important for me to understand the state of mind and the life you live, and where you're at right now.
Pull up like surprise is the president. Can't you see that I'm in my element? I might just decide to slide on my enemies. I go along on a glide for the hell of it. I bring a different vibe when I'm stepping in. If a nigga ain't right, I'm correcting it. Everybody know for sure I'ma take it there. So cross your T's and dot your I's when you're messaging. I never subscribe to guys on the internet, living for the cloud, telling lies to the press again. But I don't take me for the fool, I ain't never been. Don't bother with lies, I'm wise when I'm checking them. I'm redirecting them back to this endowment. Then you go see reality, go start arresting them. Realize to them no hear when I was telling them. But life real, I ain't living like the rest of them.
Yes, we are blessed, but it's harder to see sometimes. Trying to find my peace of mind. You said, how could you be so blind, babe? You just follow your dreams, you gotta live your life. I'll give you something to believe in, I'ma be the reason. So please stay. Say you won't leave. Real life is for living, but the price you've been giving's not cheap. So please stay. We'll share the whole fee, yeah. Real life is for living, you just
I wonder which style them guys then go try now. If wanna never hear my story, make you find out. I know say nobody is an island, but if them want fuck you on yash, make you no lie down. And I know you feel it, you realize but the way you done they move, I know they like somebody want to wear the shoe and no size and you'll be destiny's child, a survivor. Real no be China, from your up in the guy. And nothing I ever said ever been a lie. Anytime you see me look up in the sky.
So welcome back to Business and Life series, and our topic, as you remember, little beginnings. That's what we're talking about. So we had already discussed, about my story, how I started my business, in a little way, and how it has grown so far. And I said we're going to talk about the financial challenges, staffing challenges, running costs, things like this that are very important, or challenges that you can actually experience when you're doing your businesses, and how it should not scare you or make you back down. Now, when I started pushing my business, I got into supermarkets. Now, I also wanted to mention that as soon as you start making sales, you start making money from wherever you're selling, school, church, you try as much as possible to save. Because when you start this business small, at that point in time, you probably don't have anyone working for you. Since you're doing small productions, you're probably handling it yourself. So if you're handling that production yourself, that means you're not paying people. All your profit is coming to you, after you remove your running cost and all of that. Try as much as possible to save, to do the necessary things like what? Registering your business name. It is very, very important that you register your business name. If you get someone that can do it for you and you don't even have the bulk money, you can decide to discuss with that person how you want to make instrumental payments, like maybe in 2 places or in 3 places, so that once the money is complete, the person can help you register your business name. That is very important, because not having a registered business name can limit you from a lot of opportunities. Like what? Applying for grants, applying for, trying to pitch ideas to get grants, to get money, or to get investors. Once you get someone that sees what you're doing and like, I like what you're doing, it's creative. Maybe you're doing artwork, you're doing something that just kind of, they fancy, something that actually draws their interest, and they're like, okay, I would like to invest in your business. And at that point in time, you don't have a registered business name. It portrays you as an unserious business person. Now the truth is, you might not want to really, maybe that's not what you want to do in life, growing this business. But it's better that everything you do, regardless of how small it is, you do it very well. Get your business name registered, and if that is what you want to do, you want to grow that particular business. Now, in terms of food industry, you understand, you want to push this product, you want to have your own product in the market, you want to grow like other big factories, then you go ahead to try and get your NAFDAC number. Especially if you want to make sales, you want to penetrate into this big supermarket. If you don't have this NAFDAC number and registered business name, because without the registered business name, you can't even get the NAFDAC number. Now that's why I said make sure you register your business, at least business name, because if you go to get your NAFDAC number, you will be asked to bring a copy of that. So without that, you can't even take another step. So try as much as possible to also give back to your business as you're making the money. Don't get carried away and start spending all your profit. Save some, invest back into that business. If you have to buy little equipment, fine, you buy and use for your packaging or production or whatever it is. Now, we talked about financial challenges. I personally, when I started supplying supermarkets, the business started growing rapidly, because this is a it's like finger food. It's something that people buy. It's not like a proper food, but people buy these things regularly. If you go to a supermarket to shop and you don't have change, or they don't have change to give to you, you will just pick a pack of chips. If you go to the supermarket or you just feel like, okay, you come with kids, that's what you will just buy. Sometimes you just buy it just to munch on it. So these things move fast. And because of that, I started making more money. I actually I registered my business long ago. Even before I started that particular business, I just registered a business name. I didn't have much, but I saved up for it and I registered that business name, which I used for my product. So when I noticed that it was growing and it had great potential, I couldn't penetrate other bigger supermarkets. So I actually went ahead to get my NAFDAC number. It took a long time, but I finally got it, thank God. And when I did, I decided to expand. Now, expanding cost money, and that's why I listed one of the challenges as financial challenges, because you would need money. This kind of business, it's in a way that if you supply supermarkets, they don't pay you once. It's not like when they go to the local market to buy the things they want to sell in their supermarkets. You understand? Once you push this kind of products that you make yourself, you produce, you know you're going to the supermarkets to kind of pitch or appeal to them to buy from you. So it's like they're doing you a favor, although they are still making money from it. But they have the upper hand at that point in time. So when they take your products, they don't pay you. They will tell you at first that until we sell, then we'll pay you. So that we'll be sure that your products can move. Because we don't want to pay you and then people don't like it and then we run at a loss. So the truth is you have your money tied down here and there. And that's still what I'm facing till date. I have my money tied down here because when you supply a product worth 500,000, 200,000, 50,000, 20,000, they will tell you they have a payment plan. They pay every 2 weeks. Some of them have a policy whereby they pay you every month. So you would have to wait. And what does that mean? That means that if you get other jobs, other orders to push out, you will not be able to do that because your capital and profit is tied down somewhere else. So I got to that stage. I needed to expand, but my money was always tied down. So, and expanding is like taking your product to new supermarket. You're trying to introduce it. So they are not buying plenty from you. So you are giving little everywhere, which together it's a lot of product, but they're not going to pay you until whenever. Some of them take as much as 2 months to pay if it's a new product because people don't know that product. It might stay on the shelf for a month or more. So you don't get paid. So it's not something you can actually just put all your money into. So at that point in time, I was like, I needed, money to put into this business. I decided to take a loan from a microfinance bank. Now, it's not compulsory, and I'm not saying you should do that, because if you're not disciplined enough, trust me, because if you're making your money and you're not able to save to pay back to the bank, you'll get into more trouble. So I'm not advising you to do that. If it's something you can do, fine. If it's not something you can do, you just leave it. You can also get funds by applying for grants, free money. There's free money out there. Apply for grants, meet someone to help you write, your proposal and everything you need to write about your business plan, so that when you submit and you go and pitch, you can get that funds. And these are funds that have been made available to small business people to help them grow their businesses. And so most of this money you don't even pay back. They just try to monitor your growth, but they don't ask you to pay back, just like when you take a loan from the bank. But I took a loan from the bank, and I didn't take much, honestly, because I just started there, and I was also scared because I've heard a lot of bad stories about taking loans from the bank. So I just took 200,000, so I'll be on the safe side. So if they say, if something goes wrong, God forbid, and say you can't pay the money, I can sell all my production things and pay them their money back. But I was fortunate enough, thank God, I was able to pay them back. I actually did put in the work. I wasn't making so much profit, but I was making my money every month. So what I did was that whatever money that comes in, I just sent their own first from my profit, even if I'm left with nothing. Because I knew at that point in time that money was helping me, make more money. So I just paid them. Sometimes I might be left with nothing for a while, but I just paid the bank and make sure I paid. In 6 months, I was able to pay back the loan. And that was how my business grew. And from there, I got more supermarkets to supply to. And I was making more money now. So I could save my money and then invest in buying things that I need. Things like my cooker, the frying pan, more of it, storage places, putting the production place in order and making sure it's a very, very, okay place for food production, because since it's food, you want to be very careful. And now I want to also mention that this is not just about food. It could be services. It could be selling something like online. It could be selling furnitures. It could be that you want to go into selling furnitures, but you don't want to go through the stress of learning how to make furnitures. You can go to a local furniture maker, you strike a deal with the person, you show the person designs. When the person makes those designs, you can actually market it if that's where you have your strength. Push it online and people would buy. I've seen people buy things, expensive things online. They don't know the person selling. They've not met this person in life before, but they pay huge amount of money to purchase whatever it is you're selling, and then you have it delivered to the person. So we're not just focusing on food production now. It could be services, it could be selling things, it could be buying and reselling, it could be selling clothes, it could be anything. If you need more information, the truth is we have a lot of free information online on studying how you can push your businesses, marketing. You can take free classes online. These things have been made available to us, but the truth is a lot of people are not using this free information out there. Now we'll move to staff challenges. Now, staffing, I think at a point in my life, I used to think it's just me that had issues with getting staff to work for me, getting people to work for me. But I've come to realize, going online and seeing other business people, joining other business forums, that it's a general problem. A lot of people have staffing issues. You have people that come to work, they need the money, they come, but they are not focused. It's either they are not doing the job well, or they're helping you lose money, or they are not even loyal, or they come and they just leave. They spend 1 month, and the stress that you go through training that person to work for you, and then the person just leaves after a month without any notice, for no reason. Maybe just because they are tired of the job. You do everything possible to make your staff comfortable to work for you, pay them well, and they just leave, maybe because they're tired of that work. So I actually had that issue too. So what I decided to do for now, because I'm still facing this particular challenge even as we are growing, and the truth is, it is actually reducing the rate at which the business is growing, whether I like it or not, because I cannot leave the business or the production aspect of it unattended too. I have to be there at every given point in time, and because I'm always there during production, I wouldn't have the time to go out to market. I've not been able to get a marketer, but I won't have the time to go out to do other things that I need to do, or even open other businesses that will be making me more money, because I'm short-staffed. And this is a general issue. So far what I've been able to do is just look for people that collect wages. They work per day, they get paid after that day. They work that day, you give them a target. At the end of the day, you pay them their money per day. It could be 800 naira, it could be 1,000, it could be 1,500. It depends on the kind of job they're coming to do. It depends on also where they are coming from. If you get the ones that are coming from far, I won't advise that you take them, because considering their transport fare, they might all the money they're making might be going into transportation, and trust me, they won't be happy doing that work. It will affect the product, whatever it is you're working on. So I try to look for people around. I go to the marketplace, I talk to all these market women. Now, do you have someone that can come and help us in production? The person is not frying or doing anything. The person is just helping us in cleaning or peeling plantains. Oh, I need someone just for packaging. You understand? And I get someone that. So what I did was that I got one full-time staff that earns a salary at the end of the month, and then the others working and assisting. These are all part-time staff. They just work per day. They might not even come tomorrow. They work today, not come tomorrow, come next tomorrow. So I know that, okay, I have a number of them, and I call, are you available tomorrow? Are you available tomorrow? That sort of a thing. So that's what I've been doing so far, and it's been working, although it's been very stressful, because I feel like it's limiting my growth. You understand? Now want to talk about running costs, okay, which is also part of the financial challenges and all of that. I know because of time we won't be able to take so much, but I'll just try and rush through as much as I can. I want to talk about list of things that you can start, because I know that there are people out there that actually want to start something, but they can't figure out what business that they can start. These little businesses they can just start up by the side, either as a side business or a full-time business. So I made a list of businesses you can start, and I have baked goods as number one. You can sell cakes, you can sell cookies, things that might not cost you so much in terms of production. And don't think about what you do not have, because sometimes you have everything you need to actually push or start what you need to start, but you're looking at other people that are using bigger things. For example, if I say you can start a cake business or cookies, and you're thinking about the fact that you don't have a big oven, there are other local ways you can use to start small. These informations are online. You can type, how else can I bake without an oven? And you will see so many ideas on how you can do. You even see pictures, videos of people doing it on YouTube. So you see options like, local ovens with charcoal, and how you can regulate the heat. They will tell you everything, using your pot to bake. And if you don't even have the things that you need to do a proper birthday cake, you can start by doing cupcakes and selling, and saving up to buy the things you need to decorate your cake. Now we have coconut flakes, plantain chips, potato chips, as I mentioned earlier, nuts, cashew nuts, groundnuts, peanuts. Because if you feel that you can't produce some of these things, you can actually buy from people that produce in large quantity and resell. What do I mean? I produce plantain chips. I might have someone that will come and meet me and say, I want to also I want to sell plantain chips, but I don't want to go through the process of producing it, buying everything, setting up the place. So what do? I sell unbranded products to the person. So I just produce, pack it up in a big bag or something in a way that air won't get into it, and give it supply to the person. So I would have figured out the weight and then the price. And that person goes to just brand, make their packaging, package that product, and go and sell as their own product with their own name, not my name. So you can actually buy unbranded products from people. And you don't know, there are a lot of big, I did my research and I found out that a lot of big, food producing companies that you see in supermarkets, brands that you see and be like, wow, this, I don't want to mention name, we're on air. So they buy from local people producing, they package, and they resell. These products are in ShopRite. They're in big supermarkets. I have seen them. They just make sure they get from a very good source. You understand? A place where it's produced properly. You see things like coconut flakes. A lot of them buy, repackage, and resell. So if you don't even have the gift of producing food, or you don't even have the strength or the time, but you have connections, you have some little money that you can use to do your branding and packaging, you can buy from people that are producing unbranded products, and you push out your own products. Because I've seen people doing it, and we actually presently have started doing that too, supplying plantain chips to people that want to sell their own branded products. So we don't brand it, we just produce and give to them, and they go package themselves. So you can do that. You have yogurts, you have chin, you have donuts, you have pies, meat pie, chicken pie. It could be for events. Maybe you have a small meeting. If you go to all these private offices to drop your proposals, you can tell them, when you have a board meeting, we can supply you guys with breakfast for 20 people, 15 people. You understand? You can decide that, okay, you start looking for events whereby you can go and cater for a big event, but just dessert. Maybe you want to serve them healthy dessert, yogurt and parfait, or yogurt parfait, or yogurt and granola, or banana bread, and you make that and just come and serve after they have their meal. These are things that are very, very possible. We also have kuli business. I don't even want to go into that long story because we don't have enough time for that. There's small chops. You can cook and sell to people in the banks, people in private offices, people in even the government aspect of it. If you go to those offices, you will find people to sell to. You can come to those offices, make it official, prepare your proposal, drop it there, tell them that, oh please, you have like 50 staff here, can I come and supply them lunch? We'll make a timetable every day, and they pay every month. So you guys will now bargain. So it will be cheaper for them. You make it cheaper for them in a way that it's like a wholesale kind of thing, since you're preparing that meal for a number of people and you want to sell to them. You understand? And then you're giving them at a discounted rate. So they are not going all the way to another restaurant far from their offices to get food. So you're bringing the food to them. So you will now come to terms with what kind of dish do they want to buy. You understand? And you guys prepare your timetable and all of that. And if you don't even have much information about any of these businesses, how to run it, how to sell it, who to sell to, like I said earlier, Everything is online. You can get this information online. Now, if you want to start these small businesses and you want to look for places, ideas of places to sell, I also made a list of places that you could sell. These are places that, some of these places I've also been to those places to sell to, and it worked out for me. I'm not saying it's going to work out for everybody that way, but I feel that this information might be useful to one or two people out there. So you can sell to people in your church. You can sell to supply local vendors in the school environment. It could be public school, it could be private school, universities, polytechnic. You get people there that own small, shops selling things. You can supply them whatever it is you're producing, because they don't have the time to produce everything. The person that owns that shop cannot make donuts, make egg roll, fry chin-chin, fry plantain chips to sell. They buy from people. They buy even the drinks. They don't produce the drinks themselves. They buy from people and resell to the students in that environment. So you can go to private firms, like I said earlier, local markets, supermarkets, lounges. You can actually decide to go to secondary schools or primary schools at the end, like when they vacate at the end of the day, when they are done with schooling, around 4 o'clock, when you know that people are going home. You know that some parents will come and wait outside to pick their children from school. You wait for them, so that when you get there, while they are still waiting for their kids to come out of the school compound, you talk to these mothers. Oh, I sell this, I sell that. I have a couple of mothers that I supply chips to, because they buy it as part of the snacks that their kids take to school every day. That means as long as they are still going to school, I still sell to them. They buy and they pay me monthly. Some buy up to 5 dozens, some buy 10 dozens. I sell a dozen for 1,000 naira. So you can imagine 5 dozens, that's 5,000 naira. 10 dozens, that's 10,000 naira. And they buy this every single month for their kids to take to school. At least they take one sachet to school, and they can combine it with some other food or snacks that they are also taking to school. So the market is large, it's out there. All you need to do is just be bold. Do not let anything discourage you. Do not let the fact that you're starting small discourage you. Do not let the fact that it seems like you're hawking what you're selling, or you're not selling it in a classy way, you're taking it to offices. Do not let that discourage you, because the truth is you will not do this forever. When I started selling and going to banks to sell, I did feel somehow, given where I schooled in a private school, a very expensive school, graduated. As a graduate, I'm going to sell plantain chips. I mean, it doesn't look good like that. So when I even get into the banks, you find these people, when you tell them I sell plantain chips, and they're looking at you like, what did you say? But you see, one thing is that I always make sure I dress very well. When you see me, you would never expect that I came to sell plantain chips to you. And if I'm trying to get your attention, to talk to you, you will listen to me when you see me. So when I say I sell plantain chips, even if they don't want to buy, they just buy it, because okay, let me it's just someone, let me just buy it. How much is it? Let me just buy it. And then they buy. Now, I've done my own job in the sense that I know my product is very, very good, very tasty. So once they taste it, they keep buying. I don't even need to go back to the bank. I started going to the bank when I started this business, and presently as I speak with you, I've not been going there, because I've made all of them are my customers, the ones buying from me. So I don't need to go there now. They call me, they place their order, I send it through a delivery man, they pay for delivery. And now they don't buy just one sachet, because they are ordering and they don't want to keep paying for delivery, so they buy in bulk. You see? So some of these things that you do, just tell yourself that these are sacrifices that you're making for your business, for your businesses. You won't do them forever. If you have that focus and the goal to grow, you are focused on growing this business, trust me, you will get to a point whereby you would have staff, you will have managers, you will just be coming for board meetings. They'll be sending data to you. Okay, this is what's happening. You will not need to you will be a boss so much so that you would having your meetings online. I can't come to the office today. We're having this meeting online. So do not look down on this time that you're starting. I would always say that a business person has to be shameless. You must be shameless, because marketing some kind of things is not so easy. You have to be shameless. You have to overlook these things and focus on your goal. What is my goal? I'm not going out to beg for food. I'm going to make money. And I would say it's more dignifying, or it's easier for you to beg someone or persuade someone to buy something from you than begging them for money. Please, I don't have money. Can you give me? I've not eaten. And they give you. If they give you today, tomorrow when they see you, they say, look at that beg girl is coming, and everybody will avoid you. So I feel it's better to beg them to buy something from you, or to that you want to give a certain service to them and you're begging them to patronize you, than begging them to gift you or dash you money. It doesn't make sense. So I feel we should focus on the little things that we have, focus on what we have and how to use them. Do not look at other people, what they have, what they are doing, how they are doing it in a big way. Start small. It is easier to start small, because if you make any mistake or you fall, it will not give you that huge blow. If you start big, let's say you have access to large funds, a lot of funds, and you decide to use it to start the business and start it, in a very big way. You buy big equipment, you push out, you produce a lot, and then nobody buys it. What do? Or you come across some kind of challenge that you never actually expected that you come across, and then it just hits you off your feet and you don't know what to do, and then you lose a lot of money. What do you do then? If you start big without any knowledge of that business, you will fall in a very big way. But if you start small, you will make mistakes, definitely, but you'll be able to pick yourself up, pick that business up and move on. That will be part of what you have learned along the way. So I would say that when you hear the word little beginning, starting small, do not look down on it. Do not feel it's beneath you. And that kobo business you are looking at, or kobo services you're looking at, is not so small. It will fetch you more money. Presently, most of the people that work, or those of the people that work in the bank that I go to sell to, I make way more than they make at the end of the month. Way more than, I'm not even just talking about the people in the front desk. I'm talking about the managers. I know how much I make at the end of the month from this local business. So I feel anyone can actually tap into this whole idea. You can actually push something like this into the market. Look for something that will be comfortable for you to do, something that you probably have a passion for. You might not even have a passion for it. You might have a passion for something else. Like I said earlier, I want to go into real estate, but I said to do this to start because I know that money to buy a property will not fall from the sky. So regardless of if it's your passion or not, it could be a side hustle. It could be just to earn money to pay your little bills, buy a recharge card, take yourself out. It could be that little fund you want to use to spoil yourself, go to the cinema instead of begging people or asking for money or asking someone to take you out. So just think about this. If you need more ideas, like I said, you can go online, you can go on YouTube, you can go Google whatever it is you want to Google on. Get informations online. Look for ideas. You can even type, what businesses can I start with? You can type, what businesses can I start with 10,000 naira, and you would see options. You can say, what businesses can I start with 5,000 in Nigeria today, and you will see options. So many things, so many informations are out there for us that would help us. So it's left for you to choose what information that you want to consume. Is it something that will profit you, or is it something that will just waste your time generally? So we've come to the end of this business and life series today. Thank you so much. I hope this was able to help one or two people out there to figure out what they want to do and how they want to go about it. We'll see you same time next week Tuesday. Thank you.
Stand as a people with one song, with one voice.
We bring you everything